Speaker 5, code 3658, fans the flames with the oratory, "Thick Thighs Save Lives."
For 17 years, I've grown up observing humanity and our way of living. Life can be trivial. Things we are doing are changing constantly, and we adapt every step of the way. But I have the one thing that might just save our world. Thick thighs! My good friend and the poster girl for the body positivity movement, Lizzo, has taught me that thick thighs can save lives. What better way to save lives than on social media? Hashtag rockin' bod, hashtag twinning with Beyonce, hashtag body positivity. The body positivity movement has been built around the notion of accepting all body types. However, this concept of acceptance is not equally applied to people of color. The body positivity movement lifts and celebrates white women while failing to provide positive affirmation to plus-size Black women, leaving Black women behind in yet another inclusive movement. So today, let's examine the history of body positivity, then understand why ignoring plus-size Black women destroys our body image. And finally, discover how to actively recognize Black women in the body positivity movement. Because I don't just want my thick thighs to save lives, I want all our thighs to save lives. Body positivity has evolved over the years, taking many forms, each way a possibility for plus-size people to gain acceptance and overcome discrimination. In the 1960s, body positivity, or the fat acceptance movement, introduced the idea of normalizing bigger bodies in New York City. In Jade Hayden's August 2021 article, titled "A Brief History of Body Positivity," she describes the ideal of fat liberation and how the NAAFA, National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance, set out to correct the discrimination that fat people were facing and obtain equal rights. I understand that fat is a word nobody likes to say, but in the 1970s, the popular band Queen wrote a song called Fat Bottom Girls, about girls with a little extra junk in their trunk. I like to think of this song as a power anthem, letting me know that my fat makes the rockin' world go round. Despite my awesomeness, Tigress Osborne, chair-elect of the NAAFA, says the movement was inspired by the civil rights movements in the States decades earlier. Unfortunately, many people of color were left out of this conversation. Osborne goes on to say that white activists for the fat acceptance movement decided that taking on more than one issue may distract others, and they felt the Black community was already accepting of plus-size people. In reality, the Black community was neglectful of fat people, especially Black women, looking at them as less than. Andrea Shaw's book, The Embodiment of Disobedience, states that in the late 1960s, Black women's bodies were undesirable, seeing as they were too curvy, too thick, too Black. In 2016, Ashley Graham became the first plus-size model to grace the front page of the swimsuit edition of Sports Illustrated. Since then, there have been 4 plus-size models to be featured, and none of these women were African American. Plus-size Black women are unable to express their desire for equal rights, for just being women, Black, and fat. When I was a kid, all I wanted was a Barbie like me. Unfortunately, the closest thing I ever got was a Furby. Our biggest shame in America is the fat shaming of Furby toys. That and slavery. At least Barbie decided to compensate with skinny Black dolls. Yay! Mickey Kendall, author of the book Hood Feminism, discusses in her February 2020 article that deceitful messages located in the body positivity movement prime plus-size Black women with a negative outlook on their bodies. She addresses TV ads and social media creators pushing the agenda of diet culture that involve plus-size women living their best lives. The frontrunners of these media affairs, white women. Kendall goes on to say, when you are constantly bombarded with messages that tell you your body is simply wrong, it can make you desperate to control and change it. Oscar-nominated actress Gabrielle Sidney, who has starred in Precious, was publicly shamed by radio host Howard Stern, calling her the most enormous fat Black chick I've ever seen. Whereas Rebel Wilson, prior to her weight loss, had been regarded as Hollywood's fun, quirky, chubby girl. Playing favorites? In a movement that claims to accept all body types, regardless of race, gender, or background, leaves no protection for the bodies it decides to cast away. Stephanie Yeboah discusses the appeal to white women in her article titled, "Why Are Women of Color Left Out of Body Positivity?" written in September 2017. She addresses how white women's bodies provide a safe paramount to white supremacy, as white feminists dictate whose bodies will be guarded and upheld, and whose bodies are worth being shamed. The American beauty standard pressures us into believing we won't fit societal beauty standards without shaving off our curves and toning down our culture. Because the only way we can appear on the front page of the body positivity movement is by changing our race. Plus-size Black women face many challenges living in America that claims freedom for all. But freedom goes without saying the difficulties of just being heard. But change is what we, as plus-size Black women, demand. It depends on communities putting in the work to achieve our goal of good body image and challenging the narrative that says our bodies are all wrong. Sonia Renee Taylor, author of the book The Body Is Not an Apology, Radical Self-Love, instructs plus-size Black women to love our bodies unapologetically, take a stand against the societal beauty norms and the constant observation of our bodies. As plus-size Black women, we must say to ourselves, I refuse to be ashamed of my body. Repeating this statement helps us rewrite the negative perspective on our body image and will truly achieve positive mindsets. Ashley Shackelford, a non-binary Black activist, says, our fight to be humanized in white supremacist violence, protect our children, our families, our people, is a body-positive movement. They later call organizations, corporations, and body positivity influencers to pay attention to plus-size Black women, understand our struggle, and provide the outlets that society so willingly gave white plus-size women. Returning to Stephanie Yeboah's ideals on the body positivity movement, in her 2020 Vogue article, she discusses creating a safe space on social media for plus-size people of all races. Yeboah motivates white people to take part in the body positivity movement by sharing the perspectives and opinions of plus-size Black women. As the body positivity movement primarily takes place on social media, Sharonda Brown, editor of the Wear Your Voice magazine, has started the campaign #BodyPositivityInColor to reclaim the body positivity movement and restore the transformative power it was intended for, to help marginalized groups. By using this hashtag and reposting the viewpoints of plus-size Black women, I encourage us to put our judgmental perceptions to rest, to help promote a more inclusive body positivity movement that helps foster a sense of high self-esteem. Because once we do this, plus-size Black women will finally be included in a movement where our bodies are appreciated. Hopefully you're taking a page out of Lizzo's book and feeling good as hell as your thick thighs are geared up to save the world. Body positivity was never inclusive to people of color, and therefore plus-size Black women have been left unprotected. Today, we discussed the history of body positivity, then understood why ignoring plus-size Black women destroys our body image, and finally discovered how to actively recognize Black women in the body positivity movement. Black women's bodies seem to cause turmoil in the minds of ignorant people, but together, we can help ease the confusion, helping Black women's bodies feel loved, appreciated, and accepted. It's what we have to do to change the narrative to say, our bodies are all positively perfect.
speaker number 2, code 30C4, the Kugelmass affair.
Kugelmass, professor of humanities at City College, was unhappily married for the second time. Daphne Kugelmass, his wife, was an oaf.
Did I have any idea it would turn out so badly? Huh? Who suspected she'd let herself swell up like a beach ball? I need to meet a new woman. I need to have an affair.
Mr. Kugelmass, the worst thing you can do at this moment is to act out. You must simply come here, express your problems, and together we will analyze them. You've been in treatment long enough to know there is no overnight cure. Besides, I'm an analyst. Not a magician.
Well, maybe that's what I need then, huh?
In the Kugelmass episode, Sidney Kugelmass is a man desperately seeking a meaningful affair. And when the chance comes up that he may have one, the result is often quite amusing and unexpected. In the Kugelmass episode, a short story by Alan Kenningberg. A couple of weeks later, Daphne and Kugelmass were moping around their apartment like two pieces of old furniture, when suddenly the phone rang.
Ring! I'll get it. Hello?
Yo, Kugelmass, this is a great place, Steve.
Pardon me?
Look, I hear you're looking all over town for a magician to bring a little exotic into your life, huh? Yes and no. The following afternoon, Kugelmass met Persky at his apartment.
You're Pesky the Great?
Yo, the great Persky, right? Come on in. Persky disappeared into the back room for a moment, and then reappeared, pushing before him a large object on squeaky roller skate wheels. It was a cheap, Chinese-looking cabinet, badly lacquered.
Pesky, what's your stand, huh?
Look, get in the cabinet, all right?
What, so you can stick it full of swords or something?
Yo, do you see any swords?
This is some kind of joke.
Yeah, some joke. Here's the point. You get in this cabinet, I toss in any book or novel, and knock on it 3 times. You will find yourself automatically projected into that book. These can meet any of the women created by any of the world's best writers. And when you had enough, you give me a holler, and I'll send you back here in a split second.
Pesky, are you some kind of outpatient? Are you saying that this cheesy homemade box of yours can take me on a ride like you're describing?
Yeah, for $20.
This I gotta see to believe.
Right. So, who you want to meet, huh?
French. I want a French lover. I know. Hem of ovary. Yeah, hem of ovary. That sounds to me perfect.
You got it, Kugelmass. You just give me a holler when you had enough, huh? Kugelmass was gone. At the same moment, he appeared in the bedroom of Charles and Emma Bovary's house at Yonville. Standing before him was a beautiful woman folding linen. It was her. She was beautiful. What a contrast to the troglodyte who shared his bed. You startled me. Who are you? She spoke in the same fine English translation as the paperback.
I'm Sidney Kugelmass. Oh, boy.
Would you like something to drink? A glass of wine, perhaps? After the wine, the two went for a stroll in the lovely French countryside. I've always dreamed of some mysterious stranger coming to rescue me from this crass rural existence. I love what you have on.
I've never seen anything like it around here. It's so modern. It's called a leisure suit. It was marked down.
The two reclined under a tree and told each other deep, meaningful things with their eyes, when suddenly Kugelmass sat up. He had just remembered he had to meet Daphne at Bloomingdale's.
Look, I gotta go. But don't worry, I'll be back, I promise. Okay, Paisky.
So, did I lie?
Look, Paisky, right now I'm late to meet the ball and chain down at Lexington Avenue. But when can I go again? Tomorrow?
Yeah, sure. Just bring another $20. And keep your mouth shut. Kugelmass hailed a cab and sped off to the city. I am in love, he thought. I am the possessor of a wonderful secret. What he didn't realize was that at this very moment, thousands of students in various classrooms across the country were asking their teachers, "Hey, who's this character on page 100? A bald Jew kissing Madame Bovary?" As the months passed, Kugelmass and Emma saw much of each other. They developed a strong and passionate relationship. Kugelmass was in heaven. Emma, to be sure, was equally as happy as Kugelmass. She had been starved for excitement, and his tales of Broadway nightlife and television stars enthralled the young French beauty. "Tell me again about O.J. Simpson." And one night, back at Persky's apartment, Kugelmass brought up the idea of having Emma visit him in the big city. "I guess I could work it. Why not, huh? Stranger things have happened." Of course, neither of them could think of one. "Where the hell do you go all the time? Have you got some chippy stashed somewhere?"
Yeah, sure. I'm just the type. I was with Leonard Popkin. We were discussing socialist agriculture in Poland. The following afternoon, Persky worked his wizardry again, and following instructions, Kugelmass and Emma held each other tightly, shut their eyes, and counted to 10. When they opened their eyes, they were standing in the suite of the Plaza Hotel, a suite in which Kugelmass had optimistically reserved a day in advance. On the bed were boxes from Holston and St. Laurent. I've never been so happy.
The lovers passed an expensive but blissful weekend, devouring champagne and caviar each and every day. Kugelmass had told Daphne he had a symposium to catch in Boston and would not return until Monday. In the cab taking them back to Persky's apartment, Kugelmass thought it was headache, but worth it. When they arrived at Persky's apartment, Emma bundled in to the cabinet. "All right, here goes, huh?"
I'm still here, Persky.
"Oh, yeah. Give it another shot, huh?" "Yeah." Oi.
Hoi!
Oi! I don't understand. It's such a reliable trick. Oh, Kugelmass, you're gonna have to take it with you. It's gonna take at least a couple days. I gotta strip it down. Kugelmass hailed a cab, bundled them into the cab, and raced back to the Plaza Hotel. He made it home just before midnight.
According to Popkin, barley prices in Krakow haven't been this stable since 1971.
The entire week went by just like that. When late, Friday afternoon, the following week, Kugelmass showed up at Persky's in a frenzy. "Yo, relax, you right? Would you relax?"
Relax, he tells me. I got a fictional character stashed in a hotel room, and you tell me to relax?
Yeah, relax. I think I got the bugs worked out of it. Kugelmass hailed a cab, raced back to the Plaza Hotel, bundled Emma into the cab, and made it back at Persky's apartment in less than 3 minutes. All right. Let's give it one more shot, huh? Emma was gone. Just 3 weeks later, there was a knock at Persky's door. It was Kugelmass with a sheepish expression. Yo, Kugelmass, haven't you had enough?
Just this once. It's such a nice day out, and I'm not getting any younger.
However, this time there wasn't that reassuring popping noise. But instead, a dull explosion, followed by a series of crackling noises and a shower of sparks. Persky jumped back in amazement and was seized by a heart attack. Kugelmass, unaware of this catastrophe, had problems of his own to deal with. He had not been thrust back into Emma's book or any novel at that matter, but instead, an old textbook. Remedial Spanish. And was running for his life over a barren, rocky terrain as the word tener, to have a large and hairy, irregular verb chased after him on its spindly legs.
And now our fifth speaker, code 3140, Autism and Minecraft.
I was a weird kid. My parents referred to me as an old soul, which is essentially just a nice way of saying, why the heck does my child behave like an 80-year-old man? From my love of jigsaw puzzles and my constant need to wear a plaid jacket to my morning dose of Miralax, my quirks were a defining factor of my childhood. So my parents and I weren't exactly shocked when I was diagnosed with autism. According to national organization, the Autism Community in Action, ASD is considered the fastest growing serious developmental disability in the United States. Autism prevalence has increased 178% since 2000, with 1 in 37 boys and 1 in 151 girls diagnosed. A variety of supports and adaptations exist for individuals on the autism spectrum, but one of the newest developments in this area has been the use of a popular video game, Minecraft. If you've raised or been a child in the last decade, you are probably familiar with Minecraft. Released in 2011, it took the world of video games by storm. Minecraft is considered a sandbox game, meaning it does away with the set levels and designated storylines often found in other digital games. Instead, players can build, mine, and interact with others to their heart's content. Sandbox games like Minecraft fulfill the development of important problem-solving and social communication skills. So today, we will examine the valuable influence of Minecraft on neurodivergent kids by first pressing play to begin establishing an understanding of the relationship between autism and Minecraft. Then, we will craft knowledge of how Minecraft can be an incredibly helpful tool for kids on the spectrum, allowing us to develop social skills and even regulate our emotions. Ultimately, we will find that sometimes playing a game can be the best way to learn. But first, let's establish some basic understanding of autism by playing the web's most searched questions game. The rules of the game are simple. I answer the questions that Google autofills when a phrase is typed. To start, do autistic people know they are autistic? The short answer to this question is actually sort of. Some people with autism report experiencing a sense that they are different from others before they receive an official diagnosis. How about, do autistic people talk to themselves? I mean, I did while I was memorizing this speech. And finally, do autistic people cry? Also, while I was memorizing this speech. So next, let's take a look at the how is questions. How is autism diagnosed? Well, autism is diagnosed using the DSM-5. A person might be diagnosed with ASD if they experience persistent deficit in social communication skills and restricted or repetitive patterns of behavior that present during the early developmental period and cause clinically significant impairment in current functioning. Whew. If that was too much jargon for you, essentially, autism means that I suck at eye contact, but I can name every country in the world. But what does any of this have to do with Minecraft? Before we get into Minecraft's many benefits for autistic children, let's briefly examine the nature of the game. When a player opens Minecraft, they spawn in a randomly generated infinite world that is essentially endless nature. The game can be in creative mode, where a player has access to infinite resources and cannot die. The game can also be in survival mode, the far superior mode, where a player must seek out their own resources and fight monsters to keep their character alive. Kids with autism seem to be naturally drawn towards Minecraft, making it the perfect tool to engage our interests while supporting the development of important skills. Clinical psychologist Dr. Randy Coleman interviewed several autistic children on their love of Minecraft. He writes that there are 3 main reasons kids on the spectrum are so drawn to the game: freedom, control, and experimentation. There are no unspoken social rules that don't make sense to autistic brains. Finally, a game that doesn't require a high five when you do something well. Human contact. Yuck. In addition, the nature of video games provides structured environments and simplified social situations that make people with autism more comfortable. We can filter our sensory experience by adjusting volume and screen brightness, and it is simply impossible to communicate non-verbally in a virtual world. So next, let's take a look at the does questions. Does autism get worse with age? So far, it has not. How about, does autism just appear? Well, as of now, scientists are still investigating autism and teleportation capabilities. And finally, does autism exist? Clearly, otherwise this speech would be totally useless, and I would just be weird. And while it may not be a global pandemic, autism is being diagnosed at higher rates than ever before, and Minecraft is becoming increasingly popular. I'm not saying there's causation, but there is definitely correlation. So let's take a look at exactly how Minecraft can function as a tool for kids on the spectrum, allowing us to fulfill social needs, develop social skills, and ultimately regulate our emotions. First, let's take a look at social needs. Whether I want to admit it or not, I do actually need social interaction sometimes. And Minecraft provides the perfect environment for fulfilling those needs in a low-stress manner. In the game, players have more control over social situations than they do in the real world. This is especially important for kids on the spectrum. In the real world, a playdate for autistic children might end abruptly when one child reaches their limit for socialization. This can result in uncomfortable interactions. Just ask my parents. In Minecraft, however, a player can simply teleport away. Working to understand why another player might need to teleport or might deny a request for teleportation can help all children develop empathy for others. But Minecraft can also facilitate the acquisition of social skills themselves. Dr. Coleman established a framework for guiding social skills development in Minecraft. He writes that parents and educators can use the game to help their children detect, reflect, and connect. This can be put into practice through the example of players who establish functioning stores in Minecraft where they trade and barter with other players for resources. Now let's imagine that a player enters our store and asks our character, let's call him George, for a total of 6 diamonds in exchange for 1 dirt block. A horrible trade for those of you non-Minecrafters. George realizes this and understands that he is being taken advantage of. Then he must determine how to politely negotiate with the other player in order to establish a more fair trade. George might later be encouraged to apply these skills of empathy, problem solving, and negotiation to trading with toys at school, a less controlled, real-world environment, but one in which he now has practice to fall back on. Third and finally, perhaps the most important benefit of Minecraft for kids on the spectrum is emotional regulation. Dr. Catherine Ringland of UC Santa Cruz conducted research on Autcraft, an online Minecraft server specifically for kids with autism and our families. Ringland conducted extensive field notes and immersive in-world observations, which basically just means she played Minecraft for 200 hours. On the server, Ringland found some kids with autism using Minecraft to regulate their moods, a skill that is often difficult to develop for people on the spectrum. In an interview conducted during the research process, one 13-year-old with autism said that playing on the server helps me take out my anger on the monsters. My parents say since I've joined, I've been nicer in real life. If I am sad or angry in real life, I come on here and everyone brightens up my day. I usually forget why I was sad or mad. Emotional dysregulation is an unfortunate reality of life on the spectrum. Many of us struggle to regulate our emotions, which can lead to meltdowns, a symptom of autism that is as scary for us as it is for those around us. But I found that Minecraft can help me to regulate my own emotions, as the calming nature and clear tasks in the game help me to focus and clear my head. The monotony of activities in Minecraft, such as planting virtual carrots or mining for precious ores, is incredibly grounding, and they can help to prevent and even offset meltdowns. Minecraft is an extremely unique tool that has the potential to provide real enrichment for neurodivergent kids. Dr. Ringland aptly summarizes that as a group, kids with autism are doubly disempowered, both as children and as people living with disabilities. Here, however, we see how this kind of technological openness allows us to customize and create our own play spaces, a type of autonomy that is inherently empowering. Making Minecraft more accessible is an incredibly important step in moving towards a more accessible world. A world in which I and all of my fellow old souls can feel included and empowered in our everyday lives, equipped with the tools to succeed not in spite of our disabilities, but because of our own unique potential.
What an amazing tournament weekend it has been. We have witnessed tremendous debates and incredible speech performances. So, without further ado, congratulations to the following National Tournament Qualifiers.